Alrighty, brilliant stuff. Welcome to the July. Oh, it's July already this year. Welcome to the July QGIS Open Day. Thank you for everyone who has joined us for today. And I am pleased to start off with an absolutely amazing session who's going to be given by Bernard. And he's going to show us some advanced data visualization tools, specifically for cartographic maps, and he's going to take us through a tutorial style demonstration in which he will show us how to make an absolutely stunning map. And then at the end of the session, so please keep your questions until the end or post them in the live chat and I will read them out at the end of the demonstration. And then you can ask your questions to Bernard. Alrighty, so I'm just going to hand over to Bernard, who will introduce himself, where he comes from, and jump straight into the session. Thank you so much. Over to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Amy, for that wonderful introduction. And as you have heard, my name is Bernard Kirui, and I come from Kenya. I am actually one of the great ambassadors of the open source geospatial tools, and that is what I do every day. And I also work at a university as a technologist for GIS and remote sensing, and that is why when I saw this post on the social media, I took up the opportunity to come here and share with you so that we can all advance our knowledge and learn from one another. So I'm really grateful and honored to be here today. Okay, so I'm going to jump straight into our today's presentation, which is going to talk about the advanced tools for visualizing the geospatial data using the QGIS software. So I'm going to straight away go to my screen share and walk you through the process. So welcome.
Oh,
okay,
brilliant stuff.
Please let me know if the screen is visible on your end.
Perfect, I can see.
Okay, so we have a map here that I already prepared, but now because we are going to work through the process of doing this to achieve the best visualization out of the data that you have from this particular software, then I'm going to start and explain to you what I did in every step for me to have this kind of map here. So this is an hydrological map that covers some part of Germany, and this is for the purposes of training only and purposes of demonstrating this concept so that you can go and apply this knowledge elsewhere to achieve some whatever you want to achieve. So all this data is available from the OpenGIS portals, and I downloaded some of them using the quick OSM tool. Some of these towns, for example, which are here, I just downloaded quickly using the quick OSM tool, where I just came here, specified these are the cities that we have within that catchment area. So you select from here the type of features that you want to download. They're also available freely. So these are geography. So I downloaded that.
Do you have a window open for QGIS? Because I can't currently see it. I think it may be because you're sharing only the window and not your whole screen.
Oh, okay, sorry. Let me
Thank you.
Share the whole screen. Okay.
I did this last month for like 15 minutes and no one told me.
Okay, let me show if, let me know if
Perfect.
It's now working.
Yes, I can see.
Okay. So maybe then I can start from where I left. So the tool is found under the vector tools, and go to quick OSM tool, and then under the drop down icon here, you can scroll all the way. But if you know the particular name of the feature that you are interested in, then you can just type it. So this was geography, and then you can select the cities, the places, and all the types of geographical features are found here, and then can select from here. And then now, after doing this, I have selected the place and the city, and then I have also I'm also required to specify the extent of my layers which I want to download. So you can use the canvas extent, you can use the layer extent, depending on what works with your situation. And in my case here, I'm going to use the catchment area. And once you've specified this, then I can execute the query. So it will take some few minutes or seconds, depending on the strength of your internet connection. So once it finishes downloading this data, it is going to be appended here. But in our case, we seem to have a little problem here. Okay, let me check. No, I think it's here. The cities have been appended here. And then now, but once that happens, you see they are not permanently saved on your machine unless you export it and save it as a new layer. So I'm going to export it and then now save it as a new feature, which will now make it permanently saved on your machine. Now, if you look at this map, of course, one of the things that you can say about it is that there is some nice visualization techniques that have been applied to this. And we may need to learn these things so that when you need to create a map for whatever theme, then you can apply this kind of visualization tools. And when I was sharing this with some people, they thought it is a very complicated process to come up with this kind of a map. But later on, when we sat down to do this, then they saw it and were so amazed they couldn't believe that it is just a simple process that produces this amazing map. But further onto my data again, the channels here were derived from the delineation of these streams from the DEM. Maybe we will need a separate session to do the hydrological process to get this. But now I want to turn off some layers here. Okay, let me turn this one off as well. Oh, okay, these ones are grouped, so I'm going to turn that one off. So we begin from here. So this is the base layer that was used to create this visualization. And you can see it is just an outline of the catchment area, and then there is some shadow on the edges. So to achieve this, you will use what we call the inverted polygons here. There are normal symbols here, which we normally use. You can use the graduated symbols or the categorized one. But for you to have this kind of effect, you will use the inverted polygons. So these inverted polygons allows or actually renders the styling outside the polygon. And So I have these two items here. There is simple line. This is now the filling aspect. So this, after selecting the inverted polygons, I will come here under the fill properties. I will select shape past fill. This one here, the shape past fill is the one that produces all these things. And then now I'm going to apply some simple line to now create a contrast between my layer here and the outer part of the boundary. So once I have done that, then I am able to have this, but for me to have that shadow, which we have there, I will scroll further down here, and under the effects, I am going to select these properties here. So these are the ones that produces this shadow effect on the edges of the of my feature here. And then what happens here is just an overlay of the two. So you have seen what you need to do, but let us, for example, apply something different so that you can see how it looks like. So I'm going to remove this. And then, yeah, but I cannot remove this because this is the main layer. So if you remove that, you will have something like that. So you see the line is the one that was creating the contrast there. So if I go back, I am going to select, to add this simple line here. So I'm just going to basically restore what I removed. But of course, you need to know that the line needs to come on top of the polygon. So when I do that, it restores what was there, and then now you can overlay with anything else, and it is going to apply this kind of rendering to highlight your current layer. It appears to be lifted on top of the other layers. So if I have my OSM here, you can see it's appearing on top of the other of the surrounding areas. Whatever you have, it will also, if I use the DEM, it is also going to float on the top of the surrounding. And that is going to create a nice visual balance between what we have as the main feature that we want to communicate and the rest. So it suppresses the surrounding. Now, still here, told you that you only need to use this. This is the simplest, the tool that does all these amazing things. And again, if you need to use some effects, you can still apply it from here, and you select whatever the features that you want to be applied to enhance the feasibility or the visual balance of your map. So all these things, now the channels is just another feature. You can add any other feature that you want. And yes, so it produces this very nice visualization, yet it is a very simple tool that many people maybe underrate it, or maybe you've not known that it is this simple to come up with such a powerful visualization on our map. For the DEM, it is just the normal one pseudo color, and then it's categorized into these 5 classes, with 646 being the highest and negative 62 being the lowest. So it produces this amazing thing. So maybe there is a specific question that you want to really ask about this. I think you've seen it is quite simple to develop this kind of visualization tool. This is very nice, particularly if you are developing a study area map. You want to show people the particular area you are carrying on the research. You are taking people from what they don't know to what they know to what they don't know, and creating that simplicity in understanding. Because I think one of the powerful tools in cartography is simplicity. Yes, so I think I am going to stop at that point and just welcome questions if you have, because I think it is just a straightforward thing to do. Okay, so back to you, Amy.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Bernard. So there are a whole bunch of people chatting in the comments. I think just for one comment is Hans van der Kwast mentioned that it'll be nice to have the original source for this worksheet attributed. So he says it was developed by him, Hans, and Kurt Menke. So part of the data and stuff that you need to find for this specific exercise, just in terms of being able to attribute. Thanks so much, Hans, for bringing that up. I think it's awesome. And thank you, Bernard, for just taking us through that awesome sort of session. And it's such a great worksheet, especially for people who aren't used to using the different renderers, especially the new renderers. So thanks so much. I see Hans is looking for the link to that specific data and session.
Okay.
Brilliant stuff. So I love the different renderers. So you've made my heart super happy. I enjoy playing with the different renderers. So I wanted to ask, when you did the inverted polygon with the starburst, is there a reason you left some of the background of the dim? Because you could make it white with that little bit of gray around it, and then it would only be the area of interest. Was that just a like style choice, or is there a reason, like context, that you wanted to have that dim surrounding it?
Okay, probably most of the time when we develop these study area maps to explain the locational context on which, the place you are carrying on the research, of course, people need to know that my location is at this particular point. And of course, if I mention to you some of the local places that we have here, you will not probably be able to follow through you will not have that orientation in terms of spatially. But now, once you highlight that place to make it clearer, you magnify the importance of that particular place. Is actually the reason why we are lifting it to come on top of the other places, so that it defines some clear geographic context for your people and to make it simple for your readers to understand.
All right. I don't know if anyone in the room has any questions. If not, I'm just going to have a quick look at the live chat. All right. I see that Hans has continued with his comment and says that the data and steps for this exercise come from the book QGIS for Hydrological Applications. So, and the materials are available at his YouTube channel, etc. So
yes, I think there is Mr. Hans, I think, comes from the IHE Delft or somewhere.
Yes, he's just commenting in the channel here.
Oh yes, I know him. He's the one who taught me this on a program that was called WAPO tools, something like that.
Oh,
He is aware.
yes. All right, brilliant stuff. And then
Yes.
there's a question that's come in that says, do you have any examples of good literature or articles that people can go and look at with the principles for making nice and legible maps?
Well, now that we have Answer here, it's a very resourceful person. He has a YouTube channel, and there is also that book which he should have shared. Unfortunately, I'm not able to see the live charts here from my end. I don't know if it's hidden or something.
It's in the YouTube chat, not in the Jitsi Meet.
Oh, okay. Yes. But I will share some other resources which I've added on my end. I have some articles which I've written. I will share the links.
That's perfect. And then I will put the links into the description of the video once we put out the recording.
Yes, I will.
Fantastic. Are there any other questions in the room? If not, then you can please feel free to continue, Bernard.
Well, I think that's all that I had on my end here. Maybe.
Perfect stuff.
Yep.
All right. Then I'm just going to pop open the room. If anyone wants to pop into the actual Jitsi chat, please feel free. And then I'll open up to the rest of the room for any other questions. I think it might be nice to just have a look at the different renderers. Do you mind just opening the QGIS project again? I just wanted to have a quick look. Alrighty. Great. So if anyone has any last questions in the room for Bernard, please yell. Do remember to unmute yourself. All right.
So for the when you find the color ramp, did you choose the specific classes? And if so, why did you choose that specific range of values?
Okay. Every time you download the DEM, it comes with the range of the elevation values, and for this matter, just categorize the values from the minimum to the maximum range of values that came with the with the DEM.
Oh, okay. So basically QGIS automatically picked those classes from the min and the max that you specified.
You just specify the number. If you want to use the graduated simples, then you just specify the number of classes that you want. If you can also manually add, but every time you add, it comes with the values, which you can still be able to edit if you want. But if you are satisfied with what is given as the natural breaks by default, then you can work with it.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay.
It's so brilliant how clever QGIS is that it can do all these things so relatively easily. I wanted to ask a question, Bernard. For this kind of tutorial that you're giving, and you've learned these things obviously from Hans and from our experienced colleagues, where do you apply this knowledge in your everyday life at the university? Just remember, muted.
Yes, I did. Generally, not doing this for money. It's just for training students on how to use the software to come up with this kind of cartographic products.
All right. And is QGIS your main like choice in terms of a program? And why did you choose specifically QGIS for working in Kenya?
Well, in my institution, we're trying to develop one of the biggest, the open source GIS laboratory, where you can have a repository of all the open source tools and be able to utilize that one to maximize the value of what you have. Because again, here in Kenya, we're still a developing country. We don't really have that much amount of money to purchase the proprietary softwares. Yes.
Oh, brilliant. I know us as a QGIS community is always glad to see QGIS working and in and around the different countries and how useful it can be. I think that is everything for my questions. Does anyone else in the room have a question, or else we will wrap up and head on for the next section? So I encourage everyone to ask your questions now, or else we'll finish up. And I know us as a QGIS community is always glad to see QGIS working and in and around the different countries and how useful it can be. I think that is right. I'm going to take that as no further questions.
Okay. Then thank you so much for your time.
Awesome. Brilliant stuff. Thank you so much, Bernard. I really appreciate it. And of course, thank you to everyone who was in the live chat with us. And I'd like to thank, again, Hans for bringing to our attention that we can get the data and some of the steps for this tutorial that Bernard so nicely gave to us from the book called QGIS for Hydrological Applications. And that was developed by Kurt Menke and, of course, Hans van der Kwast himself. And I'd like to thank you all for attending. The next session is going to be a really chilled, interactive session. It's all about how the QGIS community communicates. We're looking at getting a new communication platform, which is very exciting. So please do join in for the next session. And I'd like to thank everybody, and I will see you in about half an hour. Go get a cup of tea in the meantime. Thank you, everyone. Alrighty, we are offline.